JR200, it is Wednesday, November 1. Hope you guys all had a great Halloween. I know the Dodgers did. Awesome. My mom was a big Dodger fan. And yeah, she died last year, and I'm sure she's looking down saying, "Go Dodgers." So we're entering into part of the course that should be near and dear to your hearts as business majors. And this is looking at the economics of aging. And right now, in particular, we're looking at retirement and whether or not we are adequately prepared to live a very fulfilling retiree kind of life. Okay, as you can see right here, I am in student view mode. All right, I like to do it that way. Okay, so in this particular section, I want you to certainly read up on some of the financial issues. Okay, so we go into the readings right here and core quizzes, and when we get down here to this next section, okay, again looking at economic preparation. And you know what, guys, no time like the present. Okay, so we're going to focus in on these two things. Are you ready for retirement, and what are the kind of different economic forces behind savings on an individual basis? And I know a lot of you guys are looking into the industry of financial planning, and so this is a real big deal. And economic advisors, all these kind of things, and it's a good job not only for helping the individual, but there's a lot of corporate positions as well. Right. So this is again, we're familiar with this particular chapter, okay, and we scroll all the way down to, I think it's roughly page 50, so excuse me while this thing gets down there. We are right here, and we start looking at right here, okay, economic preparation for retirement. So yeah, you guys should be right now. My assignment for each and one of you is that each of one of you go in, okay, and create your own Fidelity account. Okay, like I said, a lot of you are going to become financial planners, economic advisors. In the reality, in this modern tech-driven world, we're all familiar with using our cursor and clicking and pasting and clicking and going. You don't need a financial planner. We have done our own financial planning. We have our own Fidelity website. You know what we do by doing that? We get rid of all the fees. For the most part, there's a fee for using their website. It's nothing compared to the fees of a broker who's going to be buying and selling and buying and selling, when in reality, all you need to be doing is investing in mutual funds. We're going to learn all about this right now. Index funds, okay, high cap and low cap, all these things you're going to learn about. Different types of companies that have a lot of money is a high cap. A low capital company has less money available to it, often riskier. You just you go into the analysis that Fidelity or Vanguard offers in their websites, and you assess your risk based on age, and you invest your money accordingly. It's really, really easy. If you want to get a little snazzier, they have these components called electron traded funds, ETFs. Okay, electronic traded funds. And they're a little bit more like doing buying and selling of stocks, except for large indexes. Okay, but you can't miss. Okay, in terms of investing in mutual funds. All right. So that being said, okay, so we're going to go through all the different factors that come into play in terms of retirement. Things like Social Security, and this is an issue that's being raised in the discussion. Okay, and one of the most important things that is being pushed, especially as our government runs a huge deficit, is that we need to find ways, okay, to stop reducing government payout to the population, because it's choking off the government. And so what they're trying to encourage people to do is to work for longer. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, that means I'm not going to be drawing on Medicare necessarily. I plan on working at USC till I'm about 72, so I'll be using USC's healthcare, not Medicare, and I will be using my income, not Social Security. Okay, and so they reward that behavior by giving me a much larger, not Social Security is kind of a small amount of money, but still a larger Social Security check if I delay my retirement into my 70s. Okay, right now the retirement age is 66.667. Okay, to get full benefit. Some people retire at 62, and you pay a price for that because they amortize the amount of money that the government's going to be paying you over your lifespan. Okay, alrighty. So some pretty interesting facts and figures. I think what I really want to hone in on is right here, okay? And then we're going to go to another website, and then I'm going to have you think about, okay? So we're looking at right here the types of incomes, okay? This is separate, okay, from Social Security. This is separate from the amount of equity that I have in my home, okay? And sometimes you might even have other types of real estate investments, okay, that like maybe you have part ownership or full ownership in an apartment complex or something like that, okay, and it has positive cash flow, meaning that you're going to get more from the rent than you are paying in the mortgage. These are all great things if you're there, okay. What we're looking right here is pensions, okay, and this thing right here is called a defined benefit. This is what our friends from Congress get. This is what police officers get. This is what firemen get. These are government pensions. Private industry used to have pensions, but then they had a wake-up call, and it's like, holy moly, we can't afford this. Unfortunately, the government sector hasn't figured out a way to get rid of this. So all we do is increase the amount of taxes we pay to pay for these pensions, you know. God bless the first responders, okay? And I have a good buddy that retired at 55. He was a EMT, emergency medical technician / fire captain. And so his defined benefit, a pension he will receive the rest of his life is $350,000 a year, okay? Period, okay? And you know, with people having longevity, that means we're going to pay that through our tax dollars until he's 100 years old, from 55. Okay, alrighty. The rest of us people, if we are prudent and we plan for the future, have what's called a defined contribution, and that's exactly what I have. Okay, so what this is I take the money I earn from my paycheck and I invest it into my Fidelity 401k. Now, some companies, and this is something to think about when you are looking for a job, some companies with their 401ks will have matching funds. Okay, so USC is one of those companies. I am a 9-month employee. My professorial salary is for 9 months, and then there's an incentive for me to go out and get grants to run my research program, and then I can pay from those grants my summer salary, an additional 2 to 3 months. Okay, so my retirement income, okay, that I put in is 5% of my 9 month, and then USC will match that 2 to 1 for the 9 month. I can put in more money, but they're only going to match me for my 9 month salary. Okay, so I started using that, you know, from the get-go when I was hired. So my defined contribution is looking pretty good. Okay, now let's look it down to brass tacks. Okay, we're looking right here, okay, in terms of the percent of the population that has had any kind of savings for retirement beyond Social Security. And these numbers should scare the holy crap out of you, okay? 30%, okay? This is any type of coverage, okay? Roughly 30 to 35%. That means the rest of the people have next to nothing. They're going to rely totally on Social Security and maybe some of their other assets, okay? Like housing. What you see is a decline in the defined benefit, okay? It's going down, it's becoming pretty much government, and you see the rise in the defined contribution. And this is where I am putting this in, okay, into my own savings. If you don't have a 401k, then you can do individual retirement accounts, okay? We're going to learn about these two different aspects. There's a regular IRA, and there's a Roth IRA. And it all is just, you know, your pleasure, whatever you want in terms of your tax situation. And that's the whole basis for this, okay? It is kind of scary that this 401k program is potentially on the chopping block with the new budget that the current administration is putting forth. Hopefully not the case. Right now, I can put in over $18,000 a year into my 401k and not pay any taxes on it, and then I'll just pay taxes on it when I use it. And the assumption is I won't be spending as much money, so my tax rate will drop when I'm spending it when I'm 80 years of age. Okay, so they want to reduce it from 18,000 to 2,400, which is insanity. People won't save anymore. They think we can then go and do our own IRAs separate from the 401ks that our company helps us with. What people will do is they'll just rise to their new income. They won't save anything, and we'll be in a world of hurt. Okay. Alrighty. This is another great picture. Okay. Figure. Sorry. We'll look at total income by households. Okay. And what you see right here. Okay. When you look at this figure, so I'm going to go to here. So we look at singles are blue, couples are green, and we see that people fare far better if you're a couple. Okay. So we look at the total income. Okay. Of course, it drops. I'm going to be earning less as I get older. We look at the wealth, and you see how much better couples do compared to single people. Okay, and then we look at the spending, and you see that you are wealthier when you're a couple, but you really do not spend that much more. Okay, all right. So this is a great chapter for you guys to read, and I look forward to your guys doing well in this part of the course, because this is right up your alley. Now I want to click over here, something I'm going to send to you guys as well, and this right here is a new article, and you can see this figure right here, and again, this should scare the holy crap out of you. And we look at this figure, and I'm looking at people that have retirement savings, okay, and this is the amount of money. And what we see here is 41% of our American population has zero, okay? And this is looking at people age 55 to 64. If you haven't saved anything yet, you're in a world of hurt, okay? And then even if we pare it down, we see many people, 20%, 8%, 6%, really don't have all that much money. Especially if we look at longevity. Okay, I'm going to retire at 60 years of age. I'm going to have 25 years, and this is all I have saved. Okay, then I'm going to rely on my $25,000 a year of Social Security. So these are big things to think about. Okay, we see there is a bolus of people out here. Okay, 9% that have done pretty well. Okay, so it's kind of haves and have-nots, and that's the way our current culture exists in the United States. Just more description here. I'm sending you guys the link, and again, here's a breakdown again of those people that have saved. Okay, and we see that all those people that are in the higher earning range, they have a lot of money. It's only a 10% of this total aggregate group. Okay, pretty nifty stuff. All right, so I'm going to get out of there, and I'm going to go back over here, okay? And I'm going to come right back over here to the announcements, okay? So in the discussion, you're talking Social Security, all right? Now, I want you to take a look right here at my incredibly brilliant wife, Julia. As you see here, she's a JD, okay? She, again, was an attorney, big law firm, and then a huge corporation. She was managing counsel, and she did lots and lots of investigations as managing counsel. She had an employment law specialty, okay, where with the whole hashtag Me Too situation, she kind of had the Black Widow tag, where she went in and did sexual harassment investigations, and you knew if she came into your office that you were packing your bags, okay? Thank God, all right? And so, yeah, I think we all need to be more aware and more diligent in terms of making sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen to women in the workplace or women in life in general. Now, the other thing that you can recognize from Julia, she sent out an email recently about plagiarism, okay? And the important in the training that we're giving you guys, okay? So I want to also give you a little story. There was she had about 20 attorneys that worked under her when she worked as managing counsel of the Automobile Club. It was about a 9,000 employee company, so she was right there with the CEO. She had a super important position, and there was a case going to trial, and a legal brief had to be written. She assigned it to this guy. and she's pretty hard nosed in terms of screening things. Okay, the guy gave his brief to her. And this was like 15 years ago, okay? She still was able to use the internet and sift through it, and lo and behold, what did this guy do? He plagiarized another brief, 75% of it, okay? This guy had a wife and kids, and but he was notorious for underperforming in the workplace, and so she had to walk into his office and fire him, okay? So, that's a huge lesson learned. The training you're receiving now in college is going to be applied when you're in the workplace, that you be moral and you be ethical, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Alrighty. So make sure it's your own work, okay? Be proud. If you do it yourself, you'll be really, really ecstatic, okay, with the product, okay? All right. Good.